we want to be part of that village.
Yeah.
We will be the biggest education company in Qatar and the GCC,
Yeah.
because what we're doing is we are navigating the paths of the youth in every aspect.
Yeah.
So whether it's exploration and travel, whether it's counseling and coaching, then when it gets to university admissions, well, you already know us, trust us, learn from us. We will then guide you to your next stage of your academic path. Once you've finished that, we have a training center.
Yeah.
So then we take you on and we'll do training and career development. So ultimately what we're doing is we are trying to close that circle of services. So why come to us? Because we're trusted, we're high quality, and we're professional. I know what you need.
Exactly.
Which is why I made this company.
Well, hello, Yousef. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
How was it coming in?
It was not too bad.
Not too bad,
Yes,
not too
yes.
bad. This is a new question that I'm kind of asking all the guests is, what made you say yes to joining the conversation today?
Conversations are essential. So we're sitting here in Qatar. I believe there's a lack of conversation in general. So I feel like it's really important to support one another. I'm a big believer in collaboration. I'm a big believer in working with each other. So when I hear that there's a fantastic podcast, season 2 is coming up.
Fantastic, yes.
For me, it's about I need to make sure I'm there.
Yeah.
So I'm asking instead of you
Yeah.
asking me. I think
Yeah.
it's important to have these conversations about everything. And I like the fact that this platform is giving people a voice from a variety of backgrounds, communities, industries. So I said yes, because
Thank
we're making
you.
a difference and we want everyone to know about it.
Yeah, and I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. And we'll get into that a little more
Sure.
later on, but I love what you do right now.
Thank you.
So tell me more like about you. If someone didn't know Yousef, what is the first thing that you're going to say?
The first thing I would say is, like everyone else, we're all very independent, very unique, very different. I come from an amalgamation of different backgrounds, different cultures. I'm Egyptian by ethnicity, so my parents are Egyptian, but I'm born and raised in London.
Okay.
Inner city London, for those who know inner city London, growing up in the 90s will know that it wasn't the nicest place
Okay.
to be in.
Okay.
So I grew up there, but I grew up very happy in a good house with a happy family. But the struggles of life are the struggles of life when you're working class and when you're living in certain areas.
Yeah.
But you have to choose whether you want to be a victim or do you want that to be your internship. So when you're a kid, you don't realize, I'm not saying today, this is my internship.
Yeah.
But you realize over the years, the ability to communicate with others, the ability to speak to people from all different backgrounds probably was because of the background. So I grew up in London, inner city London, Hackney, for those who know Hackney.
Okay.
Went to school in the city, interestingly. We went to a government school in the middle of the financial city of London. So it was very bit of an oxymoron, to be honest. I studied economics in university.
Okay.
And all my life I've loved, for a lack of a better term, hustling. And this is defined in many different ways now. But for me, it's making anything happen, making something happen, liking the game of transacting. It wasn't how much you're going to make. If I was selling a chocolate and I made 20 pence from it, it wasn't the 20 pence, it was the fact that I was able to buy it and sell it for more.
Yeah.
So that's in my DNA, it's in my blood. It's something that I really enjoy. I love it. Growing up in London, most people I knew weren't really doing that unless they were doing it in a form that wasn't very legal.
Yeah.
For me, I was raised in a way where what's coming to you is coming to you.
Yeah.
Regardless of the action, if you did it in one way that wasn't correct, it was coming, but you were just a little bit too impatient. So I took that and ran with it till now. If it's coming to me, it's coming to me regardless.
Yeah.
So I just like to make things happen. I like to plant seeds. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it from a young age. So
that's my favorite
that's my
thing.
background. That's my background. That's where I'm from, and I believe that's where I learned the superpower. I wouldn't say I have that superpower yet, but I would say the superpower is communication. The superpower is the ability to speak to anyone about most topics.
Yeah.
It's about being able to have a conversation about anything, but also not to be a master of nothing. You must be excellent at something, but if I'm sitting with a nuclear physicist, I should be able to have a conversation with you. Maybe not a scientific one, but I am able to carry a conversation with you. Something also I learned at a very young age, that it's essential to do that if you want to have some kind of impact, if you want to get anywhere. Again, growing up where we come from, they say you're 7 people away from the king or the queen or the president or the prime minister or whatever. We were probably about 25 people away, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you come over here, you're maybe 2 people away from the emir.
Right.
Whereas there, to get to anyone, I'd never met anyone that was a businessman, a rich person, a successful person, if you want to call it that. You kind of feel like they're different, they're alien to me, I'm different to them, I'm going to make it work whichever way I thought that we should do it. But then over the years you realize, if I'm able to talk to you and you're real, then I can then manifest, and then I can aim and set a goal that for me is actually realistic. So I'm a dreamer, you know, so if there's anything anyone would want to know, is I'm a dreamer, 100%. I'm a big dreamer all my life. All my life, I've always, I dream big. I take every idea I have to the furthest place. But one thing about me was sometimes you're a doer and sometimes you remain a dreamer. And that would always depend on your energy, your motivation, your passion towards what it is you're doing. And if it's just, for example, money, the passion will dwindle.
Yeah, it shifts.
Whereas if it's some kind of inspiration or passion, you find that there is a passion, which is one of the reasons why I left the corporate world, because you're running yourself into the ground, making good money, you have a good job, position, international, all that good stuff, but the motivation isn't there. You're doing it because you know you can do it.
Yeah, and you have to, essentially.
You have
to a
to.
certain extent.
Yeah.
So, okay, we started economics out of university.
Out of university.
And then how did you make your way to Qatar?
Okay. So before university, actually I was, I like maths, I like numbers, I was good at that stuff. So I actually got offered to work in an investment bank.
Okay.
Right, Swiss investment bank when I was 17, 18. And at the same time, I was working with a group of people who were doing something else. So I had to choose between 2 options. I had to choose between walking to an internship that was going to pay me thousands of pounds at 17 years old and then turn into an investment banker and not go to university, or go to a different city and work with people that were bringing people from the Middle East and coming to the UK and camps and trips, and I never really knew anything about. I didn't really understand what was going on. But for some reason, the curious mind or the curiosity in me said, well, I want to try that. On top of the fact that I wanted to go to university. I was able to do it. I was capable of doing it. I really liked economics. It opened my mind, so I took that. But what I did do is when I started university, say the day I graduate, I will then open a business that does what these guys were doing, because I saw what you guys were doing, and I think I can do it. I think I can do it. So when I graduated university 2009, there was a global financial crisis. So thankfully, you know, my mom was making prayers for me that I didn't take that investment banking role, because everyone who took that job was made redundant. By the time 2008, 2009 came, everyone who was young or was starting out, especially there was these certain career paths where you didn't have to have a degree, they were all made redundant within 2 years. So thankfully I didn't take that. And when I graduated, immediately I said, okay, I'm going to open this business. I'm going to open this business, I'm going to see how it works, and I'm going to try and make it happen. Within that period of time, I tested myself. I wanted to test myself. I always believe I'm a good salesman, so I wanted to test myself with sales before going into a full venture, before opening a company. So I worked in a toy department in Harrods on commission only.
Oh, wow.
Selling remote control helicopters.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that. Learned something new today. Okay.
So I did it for about 3 months. My aim was really, I just wanted to prove to myself I could sell.
Right.
I can sell to anyone. And
Yeah.
tourists are coming to take a look. They're not always coming to buy. So actually, it wasn't an easy customer to deal with.
Yeah.
But I made sure I learned how to say hello, good morning, how are you in about 6-7 languages.
Imagine.
So that you can just reel them in. And I was
Yeah,
having
yeah,
conversations
yeah,
with
yeah,
them.
yeah.
And the day I broke the all-time record, I quit because it wasn't what I wanted to do. But I wanted to prove something to myself.
What was the record?
200.
And you sold 200.
Yeah, I sold 213,
Wow.
I think.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Sheesh, off of
Yeah.
commission too.
Just commission,
Huh.
yeah.
What made you take that? Just
challenge,
commissions?
pure challenge,
Okay.
pure challenge.
'Cause
I
that's
wanted to make
hard,
sure it's very
commission.
hard. Oh, it's very hard. But also, the supervisor or the boss was like, "Listen, you can go take a 3-hour break, 4-hour break. As long as you hit your numbers, you're fine, right?" So I wanted that. Give me the pressure.
Yeah.
Right, I'll go upstairs, I'll watch football, I'll watch Sky Sports News for
Yeah.
2-3 hours,
Yeah.
and then when I feel like I want to go downstairs and give the energy,
Yeah.
I will go down and just,
Yeah.
so I knew that was in me. That pressure, that back to the wall type of mentality.
Yeah.
I had it throughout university as well, where I always preferred exams to written projects or courseworks. I prefer exams, definitely, because there's a specific date. It's now or never. If I don't do it, I'm retaking it next year. So I have to.
Yeah.
So when you have to, you're putting the positive pressure on yourself to then reverse engineer. How do I get, and I don't have to just to pass, I want to get a top mark, right?
Yeah.
So you then work yourself backwards to say, well, has to be my starting point, has to be here if I want to get there. And I surely don't want to retake.
Yeah.
I surely don't want to take another year. And I know
Yeah.
people who finished in 5, 6, 7 years. I finished university when I was 20, not to say I finished when I was 20, but really to get it out of the way. Right? To get out of the way in the best possible way. So I opened my business in 2010. It was called Campus Camps.
Okay.
So I took essentially students, youth, mainly it was from Egypt at the time, but we also had Saudi Arabia and Emirates, where we'd bring them to the UK and we'd do these summer programs. So what I wanted to do is make sure that there was value and made sure there was skills involved in what the students were getting. And it's a summer camp. It's not educational so much. It's more parents want to get rid of you for the summer. So who do I trust the most to send my kids
I was
there?
one of those kids that got, I was in camp all the time. So.
Right? And you learn from it.
Yeah.
But my mind, it was, okay, well, I was only 21, right? So when I opened the business, I was 21 years old. So it was, if I was 15, what would I want to do?
Yeah.
I come from the same kind of background, same kind of upbringing, religious household. But how would I want to have fun within the correct parameters? So that's how I built it. And I built the trips based on 95% fun. And then we did workshops. We brought people to teach poetry, to teach business, to teach cooking, to teach a number of different things.
Yeah.
Really just to instill certain skills within them.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, it worked.
Yeah.
We did well, was very successful. And then the Arab Spring happened. So the Arab Spring happened 2011. So all my customers were gone. There was a whole situation happening in Egypt. 80% of my customers were in Egypt. No one was willing to pay thousands of dollars to send their kids over in an uncertain time for the first time in any of their
Makes
lives.
sense.
So I had to pivot. I ended up visiting Qatar on a holiday. Not a holiday, I was going to Umrah, which is pilgrimage. And I did it through Qatar because my dad's friend lived here, he was a teacher. So I had somewhere to stay. And I said, okay, well, Qatar just won the World Cup bid. Small country.
Yeah.
I'm a development economist. I can understand that there are resources, there is capital, and there is a whole bunch of infrastructure that needs to be done. And you have a limit. You have a deadline, which is 2022. Something has to happen. Something has to happen. So I wanted to do something here. I didn't know what. I didn't know anyone, anything here. I remember going in to see these youth centers and stuff, and they'd be like, what you're saying sounds great, but you're 21 years old, 22 years old at the time. Who are you? Like, why are we, how am I going to trust you with my children?
Yeah.
But I left disheartened.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, I got like 3 different phone calls from different people saying, we heard about you, we heard about you, we heard about you.
That's all you need.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Tell me more about this. Tell me
Yeah.
more about that. Over the next few months, I ended up developing a youth leadership program which got picked up by a group of schools here in Qatar.
Nice.
And in 2011, August 2011, I was offered to move here, and I moved here, not knowing what I was going to do, not knowing what was going to happen. I had a position of sorts within a school.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm not an educator.
Yeah.
I'm not in education at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a teacher. So I didn't really know what to expect. But it was the best learning curve to spend a year in a school and really connect with the students and understand the mentalities of the students.
Yeah.
And the best piece of advice I got till now, I've been here 14 years, was before I started the job, the CEO at the time said to me, listen, you're not gonna sit in the office. You're gonna go into the school and you're gonna get to know the mentality of the youth.
Yeah.
Because the youth here are different to the youth everywhere else.
Right.
Everyone's unique.
Right.
You need to understand, if you wanna be a developer, you need to understand what makes them tick.
Yeah.
You need to understand what motivates them and what makes them want to do certain things. You haven't come across
Yeah.
these type of people,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
I haven't. I'd never been
Yeah.
to the Gulf.
Yeah.
So I didn't know
It's a
anything
different-
about the
different
Gulf.
lifestyle,
Even the
different
culture,
situation.
I might speak the same language, but in a completely different dialect with a
Right.
completely different culture.
Yeah.
And mind you, I'm from London,
Right.
right? So coming here, nationality played a part,
Right.
where you're from. Oh, you're an Egyptian, or
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
British, or
yeah.
you were this.
Yeah.
Everyone is seen in a certain way. Everyone's put in a certain box. I was young enough and I hopefully streetwise enough to kind of be like, I'm not really listening to any of this noise. Right? What's happening? How are we going to get this done?
Exactly.
And I've got a direction. My direction is get to know the kids, because if you get to know them, you'll be able to build something that will actually
Right.
be effective for them.
Yeah. And relationship is key. I think the guest before was talking about like relationship. And so essentially that's what you were doing, where it was building a relationship with
Absolutely.
the youth community.
100%.
Yeah.
And the students I met in that year, I'm going to meet a few of them in a few days.
Nice.
And next week.
Nice.
You know, they got more white hairs than me
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
you know,
huh?
but they're my brothers and they're my
Yeah.
friends, and they
Yeah.
welcomed me into the country.
Yeah.
They really made me feel welcome. I would sit down and ask them, what does this mean in
Yeah.
Qatari? What does
Yeah.
that mean? I'm trying to understand your dialect. I'm trying to understand your lingo. I'm trying to understand what's fun for you, what's not
Yeah.
fun for you. But at the same time, there is a certain upbringing or a certain layer that isn't going to be compromised.
Yeah.
And it's the same layer that I have grown up in and I agree with, and it's how I lived. So we managed to connect on that. Me being young, them being teenagers, 17, 18, there wasn't really much of a gap between us. So I was able to understand
Yeah.
and able to develop programs that were beneficial for them. But then a year later, for me, again, I'm a dreamer, right? So I'm trying to understand, okay, where is this going? How
Yeah.
far is this going to go? I'm in my early 20s. I'm very ambitious. I've taken many risks in the past. I've
Yeah.
worked a lot. So I might be young in age, but experience-wise, I mean, I've been buying and selling since I was 12 years old, traveling around the world, went to Peru, went to China, went to here, went to there. So I'm trying to understand, okay, I'm in a small country that has so much going on, but how am I going to get to any of what's happening? I don't
Yeah.
know what's happening,
Yeah.
but how am I going to get to this?
Yeah.
Being here, I'm not going to get there.
Yeah.
And I fell out of love of youth development. I fell out of love of education. I was more interested in development. What's going on? Like, I'm curious. How does a country grow? How does a country spend $300 billion? Like, where does it go? Where does it
Yeah.
come from? How's it
And
spent?
that's that economic background coming
Yeah,
back into
100%.
play,
I'm
so-
trying to understand the ecosystem from a business point of view, right? Because it's something that I have a huge passion for.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the youth development education, and it's a major passion. And it's
Yeah.
the reason why I set up this company that I have now, because of the passion.
Yeah.
But without the business experience and being able to understand the market and bring services together, you won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
You end up it becomes a passion project,
Right.
but you have a job in the morning and you're only doing it a little bit afterwards
Yeah.
because you haven't been able to put all of the pieces together.
Yeah.
So again, not by my own intention, so it's, the story sounds like it's a perfect sequence of experiences
Yeah.
that lead up to this point.
Yeah.
Absolutely not intentional.
Yeah.
It's all from God,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
ups, the downs, more downs than ups. Till now
Yeah.
in my life, I've had way more downs
Yeah, I hear
than
you.
ups.
But it looks like there's ups
It
the
look-
whole time, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm from the
Yeah.
outside when someone's,
Yeah.
they'll think this, but
Yeah.
trust me, the work, the energy, the amount of effort you have to put in
Yeah.
is unreal.
I hear you.
So I ended up moving into corporate. I ended up going into business development. At that time, the term business development wasn't very known. It wasn't really a job title. But the CEO of the company that I was going to work for said to me, I need you to come to the office. I was playing football with him. He said, what do you do? I said to him, right now I had already quit, by the way. I had already quit for about a year. I'm on a travel visa every 2 months going in and out.
Just trying
because I'm not
rebuild.
trying. I don't want to be handcuffed.
Okay.
I don't want to be handcuffed to a particular entity that's not going to let me move or let me be free. So I'm like, you know what? I'm able to maneuver. I'm able to make money. I've got clients where I'm doing this, doing that. I'm doing a lot of teaching. I realized, well, I could teach economics.
Yeah.
I didn't look around. There were no economics teachers, right? I teach maths. I teach business, marketing. I started teaching a lot of university subjects by not knowing the subjects. But someone would trust me because I was in a school. And I would say, okay, let me try.
Yeah.
So I'd go in, I'd say, open your laptop, open up the slides, and I'll just read the slides and explain it to them. And they'll understand and they'll do well and they'll pass. So, I'm not qualified.
Yeah,
right?
but that's that sales, aspect as well.
So this is why when I say teaching, at that time, it clicked to me. For me, teaching is selling information. And the only way you're going to accept the information I'm giving you is if I've sold it to you correctly. And selling is a matter of convincing, providing evidence. It's all about providing evidence and making it. I'm not manipulating you. I'm showing you this 1 + 1 is 2 because 1 + 1 is 2, right? So I'm explaining to you how. So if I say to you this in economics or this in marketing, it makes sense so they understand. So I realized, okay, the art of communication isn't just I'm selling you a product, I can sell you information.
Yeah.
Fast forward now, I'm sitting in an office in an impromptu interview with a CEO, no idea what the company does, no idea what facilities management is, project management is. And he just said to me, listen, I want you to be my business development manager. You have a degree, you have experience, you speak Arabic and English, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
I said to him, but I don't know what business development is. And I'm very honest.
Yeah.
I had other stories where I had big people, I can't really mention their names, but big people called me because someone else knew me and trusted me and said to me, what do you know about the stock market? Do you want to manage all my stocks? You're talking about a billionaire.
Right.
I said to him, I don't.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, you're so stupid. Why did you do that? Just say to him you can and figure it out on the way. Everyone around this guy doesn't know anything. And I'm like, that's not what I was meant for.
Exactly.
I want to do something and I know I'm good at it.
Exactly.
Instead of doing something where I'm constantly pretending just to keep up an image or this, the mask will slip eventually.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be good at something.
Exactly.
So the CEO of this company was like, I want you to do this. I said to him, what's your company do?
Yeah.
We do facilities management. What does that mean? I don't know about buildings and this and that. I said, you don't need to know what it means. Read up on it, Google it, figure it out. I need you to go and meet the clients. I need you to go, figure it out, get into the market, meet the clients. That's what business development is. I said, okay. And from there, I went and met every person in every part of the hierarchy of construction, from a foreman, supervisor, consultant, contractor, design specialist, project management.
Imagine.
I didn't know what these people do. It's not my background entirely. Within 6 months, I understand the industry fully. And I'm selling the services that we're selling because you're selling at the end of the day. But it's about knowing what to sell.
That's what you're good at. So.
And then after that, I was more curious. Okay, what happens next in this market? What happens next in this country? We're maintaining buildings, but who builds the buildings?
Yeah.
Who does all of the huge stuff? Because this is wasn't huge stuff, but it's a service where your client is a building owner. So now I want to know what the building owner does. So I moved into international project management for an international company where we're now selling consulting services for the Qatar Rail, for the stadiums, for the hotels.
And this is where the consultancy approach comes from. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So then again, I go and sit down with the director of project management, Dr. Hisham, top guy. He was about in his 60s, OG Egyptian guy. And I would sit down and say to him, listen, doctor, I'm your new country manager for business development.
Yeah.
Can you just explain to me what you do? Just give me in as much detail as you can. I can absorb the information.
Yeah.
I might not get the technicality of how it's done, but I feel like I'm okay. Give it to me. Give me the information. Don't dumb it down to me.
Yeah.
I need to understand some kind of intricate details so that I can get it, because if I don't get it, I'm not going to be able to
Right.
articulate it. So he sat me down and for 2 days and explained everything about.
Which is very kind of him to
Right.
you know,
Also,
take the
they wanted
time.
me to win them projects.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if I
yeah,
know
yeah.
what I'm talking about, it's easier
Exactly,
for them. But he did
exactly.
it more as an education.
Right.
And I remember asking him, what's $1 billion project? How does it work? Who gives the money? Where does it go to? And he broke it all down to me, and it all makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same as anything else. It's just a bigger project, so it costs more money, and therefore it costs that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood it in simplistic terms, I understood it in a little bit more complicated terms, and then I went to the market again, and I started selling services, won projects. I always drive around Doha and I see certain projects and be like, I remember I won that project with this company.
Nice.
It's nice to see that.
Nice. So wait, where does Bosla come into play?
So Busla, so this is all my experience of corporate.
Okay.
I didn't like any of this.
Okay.
I have no passion for it. I moved from there to international business development. I wanted to see what the top level looks like.
I see.
What does it mean to advise an ambassador and a diplomat and working with the government and doing this and that? But I was not interested. I was not passionate about it. And over the years, I'm still in contact with the students. People still call me. I have the same number. So I constantly, every other day, I'm getting a call asking for this, asking for that. I'm none the wiser. I'm not interested. But in my mind, I've had an idea in 2011 that went all the way to the back of my mind. Because now I'm in business, now I'm doing deals.
Yeah, got a
I've
little
moved
bit
into
distracted,
that. I
just-
went into oil and gas. I went
Yeah.
into this. I went into that. So then I actually ended up opening up a business development consultancy, because I thought, well, the services are great, business development is great, but when you're talking to a company that wants to actually win a project, I can actually hold your hand and let you win that project. Not just I'll incubate you in my office and get you be your local partner or do this or that
Yeah.
service. No, I'm going to tell you who your clients are. I'm going to tell you how you're going to win. I'm going to tell you whether or not you have a chance of winning, if your price is good, and so on. This is companies coming into Qatar, or local companies where you're sitting now with family offices or owners and you're saying, this is how you improve this company, change this, change that, whatever. Through the experience that I've had, COVID hits. I opened up this business development consultancy. I'm constantly getting calls. I'm constantly getting bombarded by ex-students or relatives of students. I'm now outside, I'm in university. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to apply. And I'm like, guys, like, I'm out of the game. Like, I've been out of the game for years.
So they're contacting you to help you. Well, they're asking, like, how do you apply to universities?
They're more just generally asking for general everything advice.
I see.
Right? So then I'll ask the questions.
How to be an adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm asking the questions, what do you want to study? I don't know. Where do you want to study? I'm not really sure, or this, or my friend told me this, my friend told me that. I said, okay, interesting. Business development company was going okay, but then I made a decision, certain things were happening, and I said to myself, khalas, I need to bring back to life the concept that I had all them years ago, but now with the experience of BD,
Yeah.
I actually know how to do it.
Exactly.
Whereas before, I dreamt. I dreamt, but I couldn't manifest because I wasn't able to execute.
You didn't have the skills yet.
That's for sure.
And you needed to go through the journey to learn the skills, and it's like the perfect timing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the concept then is, how do you build something that is transformational, something that is impactful for a long period of time? You're talking generational type of entity.
Yeah.
And the only way to make that, the only way to be part of the fabric of the society is to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Or to identify a problem that people didn't know was a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my background, my first company was doing the trips, right? So I said, okay, we're going to do educational tourism. We're going to plant the seed of curiosity,
Yeah.
adventure, skill-based.
Yeah.
It's all skill-based.
Yeah.
You're going to learn it all. You're going to have fun, but at the same time, you're going to gain confidence.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're going to be more independent. You're going to be more responsible. You're going to explore things you haven't explored before, been to places and had adventures that you never had before. The only reason why, for example, I was able to do what I did at a young age was because I had the experiences, because I was exposed.
Yeah.
You can be-
Exposure is big.
You could be in your 40s. If you had no experience, no exposure, it's the number, but you've
Yeah.
got no wisdom, you've got no experience.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Right?
Yeah.
And we've seen this.
Yes.
And if I go back to the ends, if I go back home, or if you go back home, you might find the same people that you
Doing
knew
the same thing.
doing the same thing, complaining about the
Yep.
same thing, doing
Yep.
the same day to day, they were afraid to go out of that comfort zone, right? And here it's the same.
Yeah.
And we're very comfortable.
Yeah.
So when you're extremely comfortable, why go out of your comfort zone?
Yeah.
So for me, it was, no, you guys have to go out of your comfort zone
Right.
to be the best version of yourselves and to be impactful with everything that you have
Yeah.
and the ability that you have. You must be exposed to many different things. It's just more, what's it called? More bows, more feathers to your cap. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah?
I just learned something new because I didn't know that.
So your feather to your cap is
Yeah.
more is your skills, right? You've got
Yeah.
more feathers to your cap. It means you're more capable.
Okay.
So if you have two similar people, one person travels to 20 countries, the other person stays in the same place. The one with went to 20 countries regardless has more than you,
Yeah.
just by default.
Yeah.
So educational tourism was an important part of it.
I love this though.
And this developed.
Yeah.
Now, for example, we work with schools here. We take them around the world, student exchange programs, military training programs, sports tourism, historical tourism. We go to more than 10 countries around the world. We run the whole program ourselves.
That's
based on the
amazing.
experience that we have.
Yeah.
We're not travel agents.
Yeah.
We curate bespoke
Yeah.
programs.
That's amazing.
And now what we're doing is we're actually making Qatar a hub where we're now bringing people from around the world, students from around the world. It's more pure education tourism to come visit Qatar, explore it, look at how beautiful it is, but also understand it's a perfect destination
Yeah.
for education.
Yeah.
We take them around the universities and show them. So the first pillar was that, the tourism side, educational tourism side, and you start from 10 years old. And again, the business experience shows that you bring these services together. When you bring them together, you're able to create the full circle. Busla is compass. And we're trying to
In
close
Arabic,
that
it means
circle.
compass. Got it.
So it's the
got it,
bigger
got it,
picture.
got it, got it,
The
got
bigger
it.
picture is 4 pillars. And now we're doing it. Tourism plants that. Exploring experience. The second is counseling and coaching. So this is me writing down on a piece of paper. I have that piece of paper, right, 2 and a bit years ago, where I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, it has to be big.
Okay.
It can't be normal. It
Okay.
can't be one service.
Yeah.
It can't be university admissions only or trips only.
Yeah.
They're not going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
They'll just end up being small companies that provide the service and that's it,
Yeah.
right? Mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't like mediocre.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I've learned anything in the years I worked in corporate is you can make something huge if you just understand the components and put the right plan and framework moving forward. So it was like, okay, I'm going to make 4 separate entities eventually. Now it's 4 separate services
Yeah.
that are all a cycle. So I'm taking you from a young age, 10 to about 13, 14, 15 is the trips. From 13, 14, 15, 16, we do counseling and coaching, right? So we're the only company to go into schools and give youth empowerment and motivational talks.
Which is much needed.
Much needed.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, and for anyone who's listening or schools who's listening, I'll tell you what I did. We do university admissions. So we help students go to university around the world, UK mainly.
Yeah.
Right? We work with UK universities. We have our partners, AHZ. We help you get to the university. But for me to go into the school and say, hey, I want to help your students go to university, they say, well, we don't need your service. We have counselors, career guidance counselors. Why do we need your service? And there was about 20 other agents here over the last couple of weeks. What makes you different to the
Yeah.
rest?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to get in. I have something you don't have.
Right.
I'm going to give you free empowerment sessions.
And free is a
And
nice
free is the
word.
key. I'm going to give you
Yeah.
your value. I'm going to give you free sessions.
Yeah.
I'm going to deliver the 3 C's.
Yeah.
Clarity, confidence, communication, right? And I'm going to explain to your grades, mainly 11 and 12 and 13, but even from like next week, for example, I'm going to go to the career fair, the career day and speak to grade 9 students.
Nice.
Right?
Because it starts there.
I tell you something interesting. I was in last year, so I never called it motivational talks. I just said empowerment session.
Yeah.
I was speaking to about 200 kids. Never spoke to that many students at one time, young as well.
Yeah.
So they're not really my demographic.
Yeah.
So after everything, and we're speaking and whatever, and they're engaging, one kid put his hand up and goes, what makes you a good motivational talker? And I said, well, I'm not a motivational talker. He was like, yeah, but what you're telling us is what we see on TikTok, but it doesn't feel like you're scamming me. And I was like, well, I'm not trying to scam
Yeah.
you. I'm telling you something that you need to hear
Yeah.
because you need to hear it.
Yeah.
And I give it for free because it's the best part of my job. It's the most thing I enjoy.
Yeah.
Is to go and speak to groups and set them straight and make them laugh, but make them feel.
Yeah.
So that they leave it saying, I learned something and I want to be better in
Yeah.
whatever it is that I do.
Yeah, and it's you're relatable. You're still young. You're still cool.
Ish.
You know, I mean, but you still I feel like that youth energy.
Yeah.
It's still there because that's
Absolutely.
still a passion of yours.
Absolutely,
So you're still able to connect.
Absolutely.
We have ran out of time.
Sorry,
that
my
makes me
bad.
sad.
Already?
But
I talk too much.
no,
Excuse
but
me.
it was great. It was perfect, and I think that's the biggest thing is that I want people to know your services and what you do,
Yeah.
and why it's important. So as we wrap up, why would you say, your services are important? If we're talking about, and I've titled this like building the next generation.
Absolutely.
Why would you say your services are really important?
So we approach education from a holistic point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not stepping on a toe of its school.
Right.
Whereas what we're doing is it takes a village to raise a child.
Absolutely.
We want to be part of that village.
Yeah.
We will be the biggest education company in Qatar and the GCC
Yes,
because what we're doing is we are navigating the paths of the youth in every aspect.
Yeah.
So whether it's exploration and travel, whether it's counseling and coaching, then when it gets to university admissions, well, you already know us, trust us, learn from us. We will then guide you to your next stage of your academic path. Once
Yeah.
you've finished that,
Yeah.
we have a training center.
Yeah.
So then we take you on and we'll do training and career development. So ultimately what we're doing is we are trying to close that circle of services. So why come to us? Because we're trusted, we're high quality, and we're professional. I know what you need.
Exactly.
Which is why I made this company.
And you've done it once,
Right.
know, and I'm sure you have several students that you've been able to take on that journey with you. So
Yeah, well, we've worked with thousands of
Exactly.
students. We've impacted thousands of lives. Hundreds of students have taken our
Yeah,
services.
nice.
But the next aim is we want it to be hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
So our next aim, once we've solidified, is to build an online platform that closes this circle, but then is able to spread throughout the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyone can take these services, whether it be online or physical. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea of what we're doing.
Nice. And I feel like everything that you've done up until this way was a piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely.
It needed to happen for
Yes.
you to get to where you're at. So my last question is, for someone that is watching, what would you say is one thing you want them to take away from today's episode?
Do. Whatever it is.
Okay, do it.
Don't be a person of talk. Say less, do less. Say less, do more. So you
Yes.
can edit that one out.
I received
Say less
that.
and do more.
Yeah.
Right? It's absolutely the mantra.
Yeah, yeah.
Being a dreamer, you can be stuck in your dreams and not execute and not do.
Yeah,
The one difference is, which is the reason why I can sit here and why in 1 year we've made such an impact, doing,
yeah.
not saying. Yeah.
I received that. Well, thank you
Most welcome.
so much for coming. I really love what you guys are doing, so I'm really excited to continue to see you guys thrive in that space. And just thank you for joining today's
Most welcome.
conversation.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Nikki.